What's up guys, Jeff here, and today is One Take Sunday. This is where I take you guys through a tour of the store. We start in the back and work our way to the front, and we do it in one take. So if I mess up, we lives with it. We lives with it, and we're okays with it. Stupid hobbited. Alright, so today was a pretty good day. Usually get these videos out a little bit earlier. Didn't, kind of forgot about it actually, my bad. But Sunday, it was a good day. It was actually better than Saturday. A lot of folks came in, a lot of lady reefers came in today, which is always awesome to see the lady reefers stopping by, saying hi, buying some corals. But we're here in the back room and we might as well just do it, start off with this. So guys, I'm going to be working on this week. I'm going to be painting this, and it's not going to be back here, I promise. It's all lies. Seems like every single week we're back here, and I'm talking about, this is the week I'm going to paint it, and it's not going to be back here anymore, and it's going to be up front. So we might as well just go with it. Just allow me to have my delusional hopes and dreams of painting this thing. It's probably going to be an absolute nightmare, but we'll do it anyways. Big stuff back here. So I showed you guys my pretty quarantine tanks outside the lack of cleanliness, but we got nice little marbles in the bottom there. It's sparkly. And the reason that we did that, I talked about that in yesterday's video about bacteria and giving them some substrate to grow on. And that's something that I'm probably going to document in a little bit better detail and a little bit prettier of a package, and go into that in a little bit more detail. But phytoplankton has been kind of the big deal back here this week. We're moving in the right direction. So green, kind of brownish green, with this stuff up top right here with the pink lights. It looks like a trucker bottle. We've talked about that, and usually my truck drivers that are subscribers to the channel go, hey man, I'm a truck driver. Yeah, I appreciate you and all your truck driving. But let's not lie, you guys got your trucker bottles. It's a thing. But the interesting thing about this phytoplankton is it looks exactly the way that it did when I started, but if you pull it away from that pink light, it is as green as that right there. So the pink light had done something weird to the ISO phytoplankton, which I'm not 100% certain that's normal. I actually for a minute thought that I had some cross-contamination from one way or another, and when I put it back up there I'm like, it's the color. I don't know what's going on there. Kind of weird, but the phytoplankton is in full swing here. We're probably going to expand this week with these guys right here. We'll go from 2-3 liters of each species, and we'll have 4 of each, give them their own space. And I think I talked about this last week as well. I didn't get to it, but I'd like to set them up like that. I did get a new air pump for these setups, and I'm going to daisy chain them, the whole deal. We'll get some more shelves up there and hopefully get that going. We also got a big old tub copepods going. This is the mix that I bought from the gentleman that from Algecor, which I will be allowing that to continue, and I'll probably throw my own stuff in there, but I am working on some isolated copepods like what we got over there. Those are the little tigs. This looks kind of weird, all nice and neatly arranged sponges. These are for cleaning the freshwater aquariums. I let them dry up, I clean them up, and then they're a one-time use deal. Then they get sanitized again. As far as quarantine tanks go, we got some stuff in there. We got some monstrous Playcos that came in, which I'll probably never ever sell, ever. We also got some glowfish that I potentially exposed to some bad stuff when we put them in quarantine. And then we got some guppies that came in from a customer, and we got some guppies up top as well. We might do a little bit of breeding of the guppies, the fancy guppies, just to see that whole thing. But quarantine tanks for the saltwater tanks, they Still going through the cycling process. We got them all kind of covered up here with our mobile water station and our dipping station for large orders, but still a mess back here. We're still working through stuff, but we're kind of slowly developing some patterns back here. Hopefully we can kind of clean things up over time, but being a one-man army, you know, it's not always the easiest. Middle room, still a room, and not a whole lot going on. I did put a nasty dent in those monsters this week. Love me some Purple Passion, I think is what that one is. And it isn't soda, Gary. I don't care what you say. Gotta bring the balls back. Not a whole lot going here. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Water box needs a little scrubbing. We got some stuff in there right now. I got some Gorgonians that came in on a trade. This seems to be like the trade tank. So everything, with the exception of three corals, have been stuff that I've kind of collected via trades. So we'll give you guys a little bit of an update on that this coming week. Freshwater tank, still fresh, still tanky. Live food going. We got 2 different species of phytoplankton here in the front. This one, I can't remember what that one is, but this is the Chato here. We got some brine shrimp hatching, so we're gonna have some baby brines in there, and then we got some copepods. And the middle one will probably expand off from that. That table's a mess right now, but we'll expand at least 2 more there. What I'll end up doing is blends of phytoplankton. People don't seem to care for the most part what they're getting for phytoplankton. They just kind of want to extend the life of their copepods a little bit. And even with the copepods, even though I got some that are separated, people really don't care what type of copepods they're getting either. So we'll see how it goes, but it's catching on a little bit. Folks are getting pretty excited about it. They're buying bottles every now and again. And then we got the Red Sea. I put a little decoration in there. It's pretty nice. Spruce the place up a little bit. I'm gonna leave that alone. Freshwater fish doing good. Tanks are kind of settling down quite a bit, coming into their own. We've started doing water changes throughout the week, so that's helping, and then we're cleaning the glass quite often. I do want to put an order of freshwater fish in this week, as well as driftwood. I want to get some driftwood in. So we got a couple of tanks of fish that are going to move up here in the quarantine section, and we'll backfill over there. Frozen foods still going, still selling good. We did pick up some PE mysis this week, and that stuff went pretty quick. It actually was right there. So we'll probably order some more of that. Folks were buying that pretty quick. We're also going to put in a order of clowns, even though that I was kind of hoping at this point we'd be buying saltwater fish. We'll get a couple more clowns in there. I got a couple of empty tanks, and I'd like to get some more of these nano clowns, and I'm going to try to see about getting them to host. So I might take a pair of them and put them into the anemone baskets to see if we can get them to host. So got that going on. This tank is starting to fill up a little bit. Looks like a little bit of a science experiment, which is exactly what it is right now. We got some spillover from this week's order. We got the hammers, frog spawns, walling frog spawn. Got some trachees there, trachea of interest. This pink one, I was pretty impressed with it at first, and you know, it's kind of just like meh in coloration. I know for somebody it's going to be like, oh my god, I need to have that. And then we got a whole bunch of plating photosynthetic. Yep, we're struggling. Some plating photosynthetic. Yeah. All right, here it is, folks. You got me. I'm stumbling. We got some sponge that is photosynthetic. So Some of it is doing really good, some of it, meh. But I did do some experimenting here, so a lot of folks saying, including the hobbyists that dropped this off, say, you know, it's 50-50 with exposing it to the air and what the results you get of that. I watched a video from Pacific East Aquaculture where they were like hanging this stuff from the ceiling, cutting it up, fragging it up. So I took a piece and experimented, and actually I'm already seeing some die off on that piece right there. But I just wanted to see how rugged it was, if it actually can be glued like they showed, if it actually can be fragged in the air, the whole deal. So I had enough of this stuff that I figured I'd try a little bit of experimenting and see what kind of results we get. But I noticed that some of this stuff is like got micro bubbles forming on it, which there's no micro bubbles in the tank at all. So I don't really know where that would be coming from, but we'll see how that goes. We've got some Gorgonians here as well. They were a little upset in the other place that I had them, so hopefully they'll kind of come around, but still haven't gotten the skimmer in on this system here. We were running some filter floss in there for a little bit, but we'll continue to keep messing around with this tank, see what ends up happening with it. That will eventually be the Ask tank. And then we have the big system going, bunch of stuff in there, a bunch of gnarly corals. A couple folks were like, straight fire is what they have referred to what we got going on here. $30 section could use a little bit of sprucing up, but we've been selling some coral. Stuff's moving, stuff's pretty happy. The Alveopora, I bet by Tuesday they'll probably be looking a little bit better. We got some pretty cool pieces in here. We got a bunch of hammers going on, probably a little bit too much flow for them, so we might move them around a little bit, see what we get with that. The Trakes, still absolute beast mode. The bubble corals that I got this week, not in great shape, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we had a little bit of an accident here yesterday. I tripped the breaker, and instead of shutting off this skimmer right here, which it's shut off right now, I ran to the back, brought the breaker back on, and then I overfilled my skimmer, and it just shot all the skim mate right into the tank, which is kind of a bad deal. But we have since ran it a little bit wet to try to pull out as much of that stuff as we possibly can. Corals don't seem to be bothered by it too much, but things are looking pretty good. We did move these Gorgonians around. We're getting a little bit better results with those. I did have them kind of stacked up over here. That obviously was not making them happy at all. But I think we found some better things to do with them as of right now. Maze brains, fire, absolute fire. So we're going to continue to keep getting corals in here every single week. Every week. Got some nice scolies going on. One of my bounce mushrooms split. That's awesome. Pretty ecstatic about that. And we got some orange metallic mushrooms in here as well. We took those in on a trade. Dry goods are doing all right. Not doing crazy business on the dry goods, but we're doing all right. Then the $25 bin, we stacked that up pretty good this week too. We still got plenty of room though. Plenty of room. That rack right there, we probably should just pull that stuff off from there, give that a good scrubbing, and put some of those Gorgonians over here as well. I bet we could sell a couple of those for 25 bucks. We might have to do that. The lights are starting to turn down. It's getting late. We made the adjustments on that. We talked about that in this week's video. We had a par meter in house. We did some adjustments. I am going to have to make an adjustment with this light here, because go figure, you guys had mentioned that way back when I first set this up, that hybrid light is way too high. You guys are right, it's too high. So I'm gonna have to drop that down a little bit. If I'm going to do that, though, I might as well get an LED system that actually fits in there and is actually going to do some good work, instead of doing that craziness I got going. That's crazy. Just crazy business going on there. But yeah, it was a good week. Really good week. It was exactly the week that I wanted it to be. I thought it was going to be not as good as the previous week because we hit some new highs that week, but we only missed it by about $500. So considering that last week was the best week that we've had yet, and we only missed last week by $500 in sales, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's way better than what I imagined things were going to be this time of year, which leads me to hope that when this fall comes around, people are starting to stay home a little bit more, not running around and doing the summer thing, that we might be in for it. We might be in for it. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. I'll see you guys the next time I see you. Bye.